Shautsova, immigration attorney from New York, is here. Let me know if you can hear me. Today we're going to be discussing news that I received this morning. Like many of you, I woke up, checked my email to see what's new, and I was like, whoa, look what's coming. USCIS is raising the fees for many, if not all, essential, most popular application forms, along with some other important changes. So today I'm going to be discussing this news about USCIS, what they're proposing. Now, hear me out. This is just a proposed rule. If nothing changes, it will become the law. We have 60 days to comment and let USCIS know what we think about this. But here where we stand right now. A lot of forms, guys, are going to be much more expensive, and we're going to dive into it in a second. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Alena Shautsova. I'm an immigration attorney from New York. I help people not only in New York, but in all 50 states and overseas. And if you need to reach me, please call us 917-885-2261, and I will be absolutely happy to share with you my knowledge and 15 years of experience to see how we can fix your immigration problem, be it it's a stuck case, be it an appeal, or maybe you're filing a new application. I'll be absolutely happy to work with you on your case. So thank you very much for joining. Do not forget to share this stream so more people are going to join. Do not forget to share stars, and let's start. So as I said, I woke up this morning and here what I found in my email box. USCIS issues proposed rule to adjust certain immigration and naturalization fees. Overall, USCIS is proposing to have two fee schedules, guys. One for paper-based filings and one for electronic filings. I'm going to tell you right now that paper-based filings will be more expensive. So, we all will have to learn how to operate USCIS account system, which I started using recently. I cannot tell you that I'm super not happy with it. I mean, it's okay, but it has its bugs, and USCIS working on them from what I understand. But I prefer paper filings. So now, for the sake of my clients, I guess we will have to start switching to electronic filings little by little. It's not the only change that USCIS is proposing. And by the way, we're going to be discussing the fee increase form by form in detail. But another important thing that you need to know is this. Do you know about premium processing fee, $2,500 that some of you may be paid or going to pay to process your employment-based cases? So guess what? USCIS would like to get out of its promise to make a decision on your case or send you a request for more evidence within 15 calendar days. And they instead proposing to do their premium processing within 15 business days. As you and I are aware, it's going to take probably a month at this point to hear back from USCIS if this rule in fact will take effect. This 15 business days instead of 15 calendar days. So these are about the most major changes that USCIS is proposing right now. So let's look into this situation with the fees, right? I mean, they're trying to improve it. I understand because of the inflation and everything. They do need money because USCIS is a fee-based service. If you recall, maybe you don't, but I will remind you that there was once a default in the United States when the parties could not agree on the budget and many federal government bodies stopped working, but not USCIS, because USCIS does not rely on taxpayer dollars. USCIS relies on those fees. Hence, as a result, to adjust, I guess, to the new reality, USCIS is increasing the fees. And, I looked thoroughly through this very long document, and I'm going to tell you that not for every form the fees are going to be increased, but for some forms, the increase will be pretty significant. So let's take the first form, N400, or application for naturalization. Actually, here we don't see something super bad happening. If you see, I highlighted the difference in pay. So the most it will be $120. It's not too bad, but still, significant amount for some people, right? Maybe for me as well. I mean, if you ask me, nobody wants to pay an extra dollar for filing fees. So something to keep in mind. So here we see it's not too bad, but there are some other interesting situations which I will demonstrate you just in a second. So let's look at this one. We see application for work permit. This form, guys, is probably going to be filed by everyone, almost everyone in the United States, if you're trying to be legal or file for some sort of benefits. And most of the times, it's going to be free to you if you're filing for adjustment of status. But sometimes it's not free. Let's say you have to renew your work permit when you have the asylum pending application, or perhaps something else is pending and you are in one of those categories that must pay the filing fee. So guess what? $145 more you will have to pay if you will be filing this form online, and $245 more, correct? If I'm not mistaken, $240 more, guys, if you're going to be filing a paper-based form. Again, not the law yet, but may be. Interestingly enough, Form I-140 that is filed for employers and or some people who are self-filing as well, and traditionally employers considered to be a moneyed party with money, that form is going to be only $15 more expensive. Only $15 more expensive. Again, some forms, if there is no highlight on the document, means there are no significant increases. Some forms going to remain the same, not a big deal for many of them. And trust me, many of you will never even use those forms in your entire life, and you don't need to know about them. But I just put it here just for the sake of accuracy. And I'm going to tell you that I was surprised at this following situation. Look at this. I-102 form, 102 form, application for replacement of initial arrival departure document. It's filed pretty frequently by people who lost their I-94 and now have to prove that they entered the country legally. So guess what? $235 hike, $235. Previously, the form was $445, so $235, as this table shows, 53% increase. That's a lot of money, if you ask me. Another particularly popular form is advanced parole, I-131. And you see, advanced parole is an interesting form, I-131. The same form is used for a variety of applications, from advanced parole to humanitarian parole to travel permit. And as you see, the change here is not that significant, thankfully. For some categories, it's even gotten cheaper. So it's not too bad here. But what I think was unpleasantly surprised with, and I'm going to find for you guys that particular, screenshot, was the form for adjustment of status. I'm telling you, I think it's like almost $500 more you'll have to pay for adjustment of status. Well, this one shows I-601A waiver, which is also a very big increase. I-601 waiver is one of the waivers that I particularly work all the time for my clients, and $475 more you will have to pay for it, 75% increase. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. At least I think that's a lot. You tell me what you think. Right? You tell me what you think. I think it's a lot of money for this particular form. So let me find that one that I promised to you with regard to the I-45. And here we go again with I-140. So I feel that some of the forms increase are unreasonably high. I do not know how you feel about it. You let me know. But I definitely think that some of those forms need some consideration. The government should give better consideration to some of those forms because it's just a lot of money as I see it, And in addition, what the government is saying is this, that they will be not charging separately for biometrics, but rather biometrics will be included in the form fee. So that's perhaps where the adjustment comes from to a certain degree. But again, I don't know. Some of the forms, a 75 to 53% increase sounds a little bit high to me. You let me know what you think about this. Another thing, as I explained to you, would be that the government will be processing applications a little bit slower, but charging the same money for it. What do you think? Is it worth it to pay so much money for a little bit of work extra? I mean, I don't know. One more application that I wanted to talk about is I-130 form, guys. Check this out. Fiance petition, also kind of the same application, very similar. $185 increase for the fiance petition, $175 increase for I-130 petition. But if you're going to be filing it on paper, it's going to be $285 more. Big increase again, right? So that's where we stand with this proposed rule. Again, just a proposed rule, perhaps never going to happen. We're going to see what's going to happen with it. I'm sure there will be some outcry because it's well deserved for applications that are going to be increased, especially waivers for $400 by $400, almost $500 for the same application. That's a lot, right? So that's where we stand with this new USCIS fees. And now, guys, if you would like to ask me some questions, I'll be absolutely happy to answer them. Hi, Venkat. Hi, Kair. Hi, Samia. Hi, Tariq. Hi, Henry. Hi, Manuel. Hi, Sam. As we had overstayed and applied for affirmative asylum recently after 5 months, we received our receipt notice, but when we are checking the status of the case, okay, the rest of the question is missing, but I think the question is this. What happened to your asylum application when you're trying to check it using USCIS online system? You filed affirmative asylum. You are not going to find it in that system, guys. Asylum process is confidential, and for that reason, certain applications, sometimes you cannot find them in the system, such as asylum. Sometimes VAWA receipts will not work because it's a confidential process, so I'm not surprised. But as long as you received your receipt, do not worry. You're definitely in the system. No need to worry. The only problem, of course, is the wait time. You may have to wait for a long time to hear back. Hi, Beatrice. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Hi, Soul. During my marriage interview, will USCIS officer ask why I became out of status? The reason my status was terminated was because I requested leave of absence but did not leave the country. Or can the officer ask you this question? I mean, yes, they can. But you see, if you initially entered the United States legally, provided there was no fraud committed, you don't need to worry about that because overstay is automatically forgiven to spouses of U.S. citizens. So I wouldn't worry particularly about that question. Well, you say that you wanted to leave. For some reason, you didn't leave. You can elaborate on that, what happened to you. Maybe you had a problem of some sort, health issue. Just let USCIS office know. Hi, Ahmed. Do you expect them to do that increase because they proposed it before, but they didn't apply it? That's true. And can we do something about it as an audience? It is expensive for adjustment of status. Absolutely. So yes, if you recall, during Trump administration, they tried to do this already. They even stated back then that asylum application is going to be costing people $50, and then they did not go through with it. Now we see Biden administration doing the same thing. I mean, I don't really recall when was the last time USCIS was increasing the fees. It's probably due, to be honest with you, but not by 50% or 100%. Can we do something about this? Yes, we can. We can use public links that USCIS shared with this notice to provide our comments, our concerns, why we believe it will be not affordable for many people. Well, it's true that you can file for something called a fee waiver, but I'm going to tell you that not everyone will qualify for that. An application is kind of lengthy, and it's hard to qualify for it for many people. So if USCIS rebuts and says that, listen, you can file for fee waiver if you do not have enough funds, well, I would say that it's not totally fair, because some people still will struggle to provide the fee but will not qualify for the fee waiver. That's very common. It's a very common situation. Another interesting change that's coming or is already here, and I will make another video about this, it's a public charge rule. Form I-45 changed, guys, and many new questions were added to this, and I will go over those questions in a different video, but hear me out. Biden administration stated that this public charge new rule is a positive change, but if you look closer at it, it reminds Trump public charge rule very, very much. And as I said, we're going to have a separate video about that, so we can look at the questions and answers and so on and so forth. Hi, True Wisdom. Hey, nice to see you again. Hi, Alena. My application was submitted to the California Center. I went online. It says 9 months. I went 30 through my daughter, a citizen. Is this to completion of green card? All right. So if you are filing for adjustment of status together with I-130, then 9 months. Okay, 9 months, the processing time that you saw is probably only for I-130. You should also track processing time for I-45. But hopefully, because it is your daughter who is sponsoring you, it will not take more than 9 months for you, okay? The crazy wait times, I hope, are over. The crazy wait times that we saw during the pandemic, I hope they're over. Yes. Hi, Ahmed. Thank you guys again for joining. Do not forget to share this stream if you can. It would be very, very nice if you would do that and help us out to get more followers and spread the news so more people can participate in our lives. Hi, David. Nice to see you. Good afternoon. I guess I maybe missed the answer, but are there any changes with EAD renewal fee? Thank you very much. Yes, I saw that table that it's going to be more expensive to file for the work permits, guys. And I can make a mistake, but I believe it's going to be, let me see if I wrote it down for myself. It's almost like $200 more expensive if you file online, and even more expensive if you're going to be filing via paper. So now there will be difference. They're going to charge you different fees. If you file online, it's cheaper than if you file by mailing. But I prefer mailing, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Hi, Lena. I applied I-130 in September 21, and it got approved in November 2022. But my removal proceedings was terminated before my I-130 approval. So I filed I-45 and I-765 in October 2022. Do I send the notice? Well, if your removal proceedings were terminated, you do not need to send anything to immigration court anymore. If your removal proceedings were terminated, now USCIS is going to have jurisdiction, in most cases, over your case, okay? Termination of removal proceedings means the end. It's done. It's over. You're out of the court. It's a good news. Opposed to administrative closure, guys. If your case is simply administratively closed, then you will have to go back to court. but hopefully everything was done correctly and you don't have to worry about that. Hi, Ahmed. How much it will be the new one for adjustment of status, including I-765 and I-131? All right, so first of all, as I said, it's a proposed rule. We still have teeny tiny hope that it's not going to go through for whatever reason. But if it does, I-131 and I-765 forms should be included when you are paying for your I-485 form application. I particularly did not see any changes with regard to this rule. If I see it after I read this 100-something pages again, I will let you guys know. But traditionally, if you are paying for I-485 full price and filing I-765 and I-131 together, they should not be charging you extra. Here, what I always advise my clients, I always recheck the fees before I mail the package. Okay, always just recheck it. It's very easy, and then you will know what's going on. Sometimes it's not so easy to understand what's going on because there are changes that are not coming from USCIS notices. For example, court litigation. This is what we had with I-765 forms for those who were renewing their work permits based on asylum pending, guys. So confusing. First, we were told we have to pay biometrics. So we would have to pay $495. Then we were told you do not have to pay biometrics. Then it was reversed. And now again, you do not have to pay biometrics. So I know it can be confusing, but the good thing is this. Most lawyers are members of American Immigration Lawyers Association. And this organization is amazing. They do provide lawyers with guidelines as to what to do when there is change in law and regulations and fee changes as well. So just check with your attorney. In most cases, maybe one mistake you can make, maybe one mistake if you send the incorrect fee, but usually you'll be all right. Hi, Esha. Can you get EAD if you're adjusting using I-245? Yes. In most cases, you should be able to file C9 work permit together with your traditional adjustment of status. That's what's happening. Hi, Mel. Why my EAD and advanced parole were processed at NBC instead of Vermont Service Center where it was filed? Why do you care? I don't think it matters at all. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in one case that I had. I don't think it's important. What could have happened that your applications were filed separately, could have happened that, or they were separated. And even if they were filed together, sometimes service centers distribute the work and they send it to other centers. Listen, as long as you get those documents approved, I don't think it matters at all right? Unless you have a concern of some sort. So what would be your concern? Would it be a privacy concern? Do you think that your applications were disclosed or something like this? Otherwise, I don't think it matters at all. So many people are waiting for their work permits. They would be happy if anyone, anywhere, would have looked at them. Well, congratulations, by the way, for receiving the work permit. Hi, Mel. Hello, Elena. How are you? I want to bring my friend from Cairo, Egypt, with his wife and 2 kids. Can you help me out? What to do? Emil, if you would like for your friend to visit you in the United States, they will have to file for a tourist visa. There is really no other way around it. And it's done online. This 160 form has to be filed. What you can do is you can provide a letter if you'd like to. It's not necessarily, it's not obligatory, but you can do it if you want. You could write a letter saying, my name is so-and-so, I'm residing at, and you provide your address. And you state that I would like to invite my dear friend, the name and the family, their names, to stay with me for the holidays, to stay with me for whatever the purpose is the length of the visit. I assure you that I will be providing them with room and board, meaning have a room to stay and you're going to feed them. And it can serve as an indication that these people have particular purpose of their visit. It's a short visit because that's what's important for a non-immigrant visa, and that they will not be in the streets. They basically have somebody to host them. So you can do that, okay? You would like to notarize your letter, that's wonderful. For those of you guys who do not have access to a notary or do not want to go to a notary, you can write any letter in the form of a declaration. Under federal law, it is accepted, has the same strength as a notarized affidavit. What is a declaration? It's a letter that has magic words in it. I declare under the penalties for perjury, under the laws of the United States, that the following is true and correct. And then you write whatever you want to write, you put your signature and the date when you made that signature. The same format can be used for letters from overseas. For those of you who are collecting evidence, for example, for their asylum cases, you guys can use this format, and then your friend, your colleague, your witness does not have to go to notary, which can be a big concern in certain countries where notaries are keeping copies of everything they're notarizing. So imagine you have asylum case, most likely you would not want anyone to make copies, okay, of those documents. Well, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you for sharing this stream, liking it. I wish you again a very, very happy new year. I'm going to provide more updates. Hopefully they will be useful to you. Now at least you know that USCIS is planning on increasing the fees. So guess what you're going to do? That's right, you're going to file your case as soon as you can, not to pay extra money. So thank you very much for watching, and